Now there's the Isle of Roux, where no one can tell us what to do.
Okay, you got me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, is it nice? Does it sound nice? Okay, come on back quick. But please turn the sound off.
I can even hear me from over there.
Yeah. Did it sound okay?
Yeah, really good.
Okay, recap. We've shuffled all our computers here, and the one computer that absolutely had to have the mic and the sound turned off every time, or like major problems, is what we've decided to plug the mic into tonight. And then a couple levers deep, I put the sound way off on the mic inside the mic option. So even if the mic was on, I had the mic turned way down low.
Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go.
So Scott's been with us, even though there was no sound, which is super embarrassing.
Also,
hey, Scott, was there singing on the opening credits? Does that sound also go off? So, and on that note, we will not be with you next week because we're going to be on the road. So, what we might do is if we can pull it off, and we're not sure if we can pull it off, but what I'm thinking will probably happen is we're going to try and pre-record a whole episode that won't be live next week. And we won't even say anything. It'll be like Orson Welles and the War of the Worlds. This is weird. This should be the same camera. Right? It is. But when I look at it on that computer.
No, that's cameras going from your computer.
Oh, but where am I? Oh, there I am. Okay. That's Okay, that explains a lot. Nah, one of these is flipped.
I might need to unmirror this
Nah,
one.
it looks. I'm better looking there than I am here. So leave me flipped. Yeah. Okay, so can I change this camera?
Okay, I shared. We have a bunch of old ones pinned. Should I try to
Unpin them, please. Yeah.
Unpin. Should I pin the latest one to the top or just leave it?
Sure.
Oh, there. Okay, there. So we have our space and then our event is underneath. Okay, that's good. That looks clean.
This was complete chaos. Chaos, I tell you.
But we did it.
Chaos.
Oh, Kelly's here. Can you add Kelly? Oh,
Yes.
you keep doing what you're doing.
No, I'm going to add Kelly. For add to stage.
Yeah.
Kelly, how's the sound? Do I got speakers?
Sound is good. Sorry, I had it on my phone. You could hear me.
No, you don't have to apologize to us.
Yeah.
We're scrambling. So we're basically downgraded part of our broadcast, the most important part, to my oldest computer, but I just didn't want to keep moving.
He missed the opening. That's why he couldn't tell if the sound.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. Next week we'll broadcast everything out of this laptop.
Are you we're gonna have space to bring a laptop and broadcast?
No, I don't mean next week. We're not here next week. Next week we're gonna pre-record one and put it up like War of the World style and see if people fall for it. Like, hi, oh yeah.
But we'll be in
I don't think he's really live. I'm like,
we'll
no,
be in a
I'm
completely
not.
different space.
Yeah, but we shuffled a bunch of stuff, and gosh, that is like hard on the nervous system, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy actually out of the UK who he'll take a backpack with a battery in it, and it's a battery booster, and he actually streams live from the UK while on a bicycle.
That's cool.
Guess what?
What?
We're not doing that.
That is very cool.
We have streamed live before. We broadcast while I was at school. We broadcast while we were out of town. We only ever missed one broadcast, and that was because we were on the road with all the equipment and heading to San Francisco. And we're kind of like, okay, like I think we're going to get to the hotel at 7:00, and then maybe in the lobby we can put up a notice saying we're going to go, and then give it it'll take us 15 minutes to get started. But we didn't realize there's a time shift between where we were and where we ended up. And so we got to San Francisco, and I was like, I think we're going to make it. And then it was like, no, we missed it by an hour.
We forgot about time.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba.
Where's the time shift between? Is it between?
Oh, I don't know, Rich. Let's not think about that yet.
You guys going to BC?
No, we're going the other way, so we don't know about this. I think we're losing an hour going there. No, I think we're on the same time slot as Saskatchewan now.
That's not yet.
Oh.
We got to do that research because we might miss all the check-in times. Okay, what am I
So on
trying
a
to do?
good note, when I was in my Edmonton thing,
Yeah?
my 2 panels went really good.
Amazing.
My second panel with the Palmer clay and the nails, I actually ran out of clay and we were full.
Amazing. That's great.
And then on another note, I brought 17 paintings down there, and I came home with 7, and I sold 10 paintings down there.
Oh, that's awesome, Kelly.
And some
Unless Revenue Canada's watching, and then you never sold anything.
some of the paintings that I sold, they bought stuff last year, and they're from far like Regina area.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was telling me he might want me to do a commission on it. He likes the stuff I do, I guess. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
So that's never happened to me. I was super happy.
Yeah.
I also sold 4 resin pieces as well. I did buy another art thing from another artist. I'll have to find it. It's a little kitty cat with a butterfly on it. It was done in acrylic.
That is
What's new, pussycat? Whoa!
So, and they had 2,400, almost 2,500 people there
Yeah.
across three hotels. When I left, the power outage, they had a power outage in the hotel, and 4 people in fursuits got stuck in the elevator.
Oh,
that.
that
Yeah.
happens to us maybe once or twice a year.
But we're not in
Here,
full.
here
So,
Continental Towers.
We're not in full.
but it's in like the 30+ weather was pretty havoc on a lot of people.
Yeah.
You look like you got some sun, Rich. You look like your face is really sunburned.
What that's called is high blood pressure.
No,
Oh.
it's just the no.
It's just the screen.
It's the lighting
Look at my
today.
hand. Look how pink the paper is. It's part of it is the curtains are so red behind us.
Yeah.
And part of it is I think I adjusted my camera so that is it this one? Or here, look at this. Want to see the rest of our room? This might go chaos on the here's our room. Can you see us over there?
Wow.
Yeah. So we actually have 3 computers going right now.
Oh,
We usually
that's
have
cool.
2.
You can see the whole setup on that one.
Yeah, we should tidy up a bit. Okay. So but no, I'm not sunburned. I'm basking in the glow of some orange curtains. There's a
You
red
must like
lamp.
the heat, though. You like the heat, don't you?
I love the heat. Yes. It's a little hot. It's a little stuffy in here tonight. And we would have the window open, except from the noise outside the apartment is so loud that I've never noticed. Maybe if we're watching a movie.
It's only when we're watching a movie, like
Yeah.
late at night,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
We want to be
If you need to
quiet.
understand something, then we can't have.
But
the
if
window
it's
open.
like Japanese as closed captioning, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we listen to records, we do listen to music uncomfortably loud for our neighbors. So
No.
they don't know if it's Dickens across the street or just the Taylors again. But
No,
it's not. I wouldn't say it's definitely warm in here, but I would have the window open if we weren't broadcasting.
Mhm.
And there's been a lot of construction lately, and I got to record my audiobook. So I'm going to be back to. We built this sleeping bag tent last year that was just brutal. Oh, I could put up the
kind
tent.
of like being in a fursuit
I
in
could
an
put up the
elevator.
tent and put all those pads underneath
Around
and
it.
then throw all the sleeping bags over top. It'll only be 60 degrees in
It'll
there.
only be. But yeah, you're right. Good.
The weather seems to be like it's going to be 35 tomorrow, 35 the next day. Me and Steve are going to the zoo on Sunday
Nice.
when it's 32. I'll be dying.
It's okay. You can go into
Tell
the
me
penguin.
more. Sorry, I'm sorry, but could you tell me more about your panel? That's what I'm curious.
Oh, so the panel was how to make polymer clay and polymer teeth.
Nice.
And I had a guy come up and ask me, can I cover the polymer clay with, like, I said, you could probably put tinfoil in it and then cover the horns and then bake it. And because the horns he had were super heavy, it was so top heavy. It's an alligator,
Oh.
furry alligator.
Oh.
And he had it tipped up. So he had a special harness on his shoulders.
Oh, wow.
So it was really kind of cool, actually, like to talk to other people. And then I actually did talk to them about the Isle of Roux. So I did talk about that. And I said, you guys can tune in. And I told them the date. So I don't know if they'll tune in, but they're from all over Canada, the US, and Europe.
Very cool. Thanks.
So there was a person from Australia. There was a person from the UK. There's lots of people, different nationalities. It was really cool. There was a maid cafe. They did a maid cafe where they serve you. Me and this other lady got served gluten-free food.
Nice.
And they're all in fursuits. So they serve you in fursuits, which was interesting.
Very nice.
They had a handler have to help some of them because they can't look down.
Oh, yeah, because it's like very elaborate.
Because the vision is very whatever.
Yeah.
But and there is actually we had an art studio there too. So we had it was called the artist something, I can't remember. Artists would meet up and they would all sit and draw together,
Nice.
which was really cool.
That's
And
okay.
I ended up drawing in fursuit with my hands.
That's awesome.
She draw better in fursuit than I do out of suit. I
Yeah,
thought that was funny.
I have a pair of puppet hands for my yellow puppet, and so I have my puppet. My yellow puppet, his hands are about this big, but then I have a matching pair of gloves. So that when I want to do like
this, like
fool the eye,
Yeah.
it would look like he's drawing.
Yeah.
So, can you think of something I'm supposed to do for
Yeah.
Lori?
Question mark sprouting leaves is the next one. So you did the question mark, and now you have your
What
question.
kind of leaves?
It just says leaves. So maybe like the plant that you drew for her.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool. The panel went really well. They actually want me to do it next year, so it'll be a 3-year thing.
Wow.
I did have a werewolf meetup. I had it where I wrote on a piece of cardboard saying I don't talk. Told them how old my suit was. I said, "What inspired you to be a werewolf? How did it come to be? Did you have a dream? Did you do whatever?" So that was kind of cool. Met a lot of different people as well for that.
It's really nice.
I used to print cards.
What?
I used to print cards in my gorilla suit, and the card said,
Yeah.
"Yes, it's hot in here."
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of them were a lot of water. We had a lot of fans around. I had to walk between 2 hotels to get to the other hotel, and then you get up in the elevator, which is the second floor. The walking was hard on me because my feet are blown out, so I have to remake them. They're only scuba boots with latex over them.
Kelly,
What?
do you like to go to Disneyland?
I went once. I loved it.
How long ago did you go?
Should I go get you some water?
7 years ago, maybe 8. It was a while back, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think that noise was?
I enjoyed actually seeing the mascots. That was a big thing.
Actually, if
And-
you're
and-
getting water, could you also check Felix is alive? Because
Sure.
that sounded kind of dangerous.
Sure.
Sorry, you know what? I was thinking you'd probably really love Disneyland.
I did. I'd like to go back.
What's stopping you?
Got commitments here, adult priorities right now. My mom, my dad. My dad's not doing too well in Thailand, so he's got COPD. He's on oxygen, and he has a feeding tube now,
Yeah.
so it's not that good.
I've been trying to talk my family into going to Disneyland together, even like people I haven't been getting along with.
You should. It's a bonding thing it would bond you guys.
Well, I went there with the
What?
school, and I was kind of against going there with the school, probably because of some childhood trauma. And my friend, one of the teachers that was on the trip, was also kind of like shy to talk about why it was difficult for us to be there. And when I got there, I noticed, okay, first of all, we were on a school trip, so that was pretty amazing. And I had not anticipated it being as awesome as it would be to be on a school trip. Like, ultimately, well, I'm friends with Kevin. Kevin's my friend at work, and it's his idea to go to Disneyland. And there's like complications where I go because Kevin's got this like machine attached to him, and I have to like know how to reboot it in 10 minutes or he dies. So
Drinking water too?
well, you're an angel. So I kind of reluctantly went, but when I got there, it was such a nice experience for the kids at school. And then I really like became super hyper aware of how there seems to be like families that go and they do like uniforms, and then they seem to like book hotels together. And so we were there for kind of an extended time with the school, and you see like the same group of people kind of like walking back from the park early in the morning too. Like there's kind of like a sort of a society of early risers. And
100%. Yeah.
yeah, and then so on the way to the park, you sort of hear them like, well, it's 6 days. I might take tomorrow off and just spend some time by the pool, which sounds crazy. But I think they must do like a family bulk pass, and everybody in their family shows up. I don't know. It kind of like fits into this childhood that I imagine that people have. Like, I don't know if I've ever asked. I probably asked you this before. Forgive me if I don't remember the answer, but do you wear slippers?
Still do.
Yeah. So like,
Been downstairs. Yeah.
okay, but like, do you wear slippers is like, oh, I'm going in the basement, I want to keep my feet warm? Or like, do you wear slippers like when you come through the house, everything stops, outdoor shoes come off and slippers come on?
Not when I get home. I wear the socks, but the only time I wear slippers is when I'm in the basement
Right.
or in the garage if I have to go.
Because to me, oh, wait, that's different. So your outdoor slippers that go out to the garage also go in your house?
Only in the basement.
Oh. Jesse,
It's only because I'm going into the garage to get a canvas.
Jesse is very loving and forgiving of my weirdness, but I see her jaw clench and veins stick out of her head if I ever, like, especially if I take time to tie up my shoelaces and then forget something. I'm not going to take my shoes off. It's like, well, I mean, I kind of keep track. If I stepped in puke, I'll put those shoes aside and they don't even really go into the house. They just stay near the front door. But if those shoes have been, walking around on the sidewalk, I figure they're pretty clean. And so I'll go back in to get something, and I can just see like the muscles in her jaws flexing as she's like avoiding screaming at me for stepping inside the house with shoes on. But I don't think shoes. What about you, Jesse? Can shoes go in the backyard and the house?
Backyard?
Yeah.
I guess like it depends. Like she's saying garage and basement, so like garage and basement makes sense, especially if it's like unfinished floor.
No, but do the
if you have to walk
garage shoes go into the living room? Is that a thing?
Oh no.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
Mm-mm.
And like, okay, so I remember my sister was a little weird about her bedspread and her pillowcase and stuff, and her boyfriend and she were moving out. And hope this isn't too personal to tell this story, but Aaron, who was our videographer at what's the next one? At Gorilla House, I was helping him carry her mattress out.
Cube with 4 distinct cast shadows. 4 shadows.
Foreshadowing.
Perhaps a cube with 4 distinct cast shadows.
Okay, so Aaron's arms got tired and he put the mattress down on the front lawn, and I was like, "Oh no, you can't put Jen's mattress down on the front lawn." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then sister came outside, saw the mattress touching the ground. It did not go well. But I just remember looking at the fear on Aaron's face, like, oh, he did not know this was coming. And I was like, you were not prepared for
the pain.
What you're getting yourself into here. So, how would you feel if your mattress touched the ground, Jesse?
Pretty sad in my heart.
Really? Like on your front lawn?
Oh, like if it's like front lawn clean, I could see it. And
wait, where do you clean the front lawn?
Like just clean grass. Like it's just like it's not dirty. It's like
okay. How about the ground under
like if
the Blues Fest?
No,
no mattress can touch that.
If we were moving out from here and we put it down on the sidewalk by the Continental Lake,
right?
I'd cry and maybe just buy a new mattress.
Okay, so
like, I'd be like, leave it.
Let's just say the movers came and put my mattress in my house for me.
Yeah.
Are the movers going to be germaphobes in the way we are germaphobes?
No.
Okay, next question. Did the movers specifically handle that mattress in a way to keep it from touching the lobby floor?
Elevators, yeah. I don't know. What I was thinking was movers might have a wrap for things.
No, they did not have a wrap for things.
Could you have let me have that illusion?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay. See, I think I have.
But
that
I do
already
know how this world
locked
works.
down. I think they Ziploc bag everything.
No, they
They
didn't.
move it.
No, they don't care about that. Yeah, they don't.
Give me this much.
No, our mattress touched the elevator floor, 100% for sure, without question. Our mattress, and elevator kissed.
Yeah. Scott says.
Are you
shoes
not
off.
able to see the?
No.
Why?
This is like a.
You should. Well, Kelly can see the comments. Kelly, can you see the comments?
My screen is full. I can't. Oh, maybe I'll just open it.
Oh no, I'm not asking you to. I was just was convinced we can't see the comments on our other stream.
I can't see the comments on because I'm on StreamYard.
Interesting.
That was part of our shuffle, was like learning how to do it on this different computer, and it was.
Well, we also downgraded from professional StreamYard to just regular StreamYard because, well, I think we're at like the mid.
Mid. It's mid. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had
They
mid.
have a sale. They have a sale on StreamYard, 40% off or something like that.
Because of us. Because we unprofessionalized ourselves. Wait, do you use StreamYard?
When she clicks on our link.
No, I'm only using it for you guys.
Yeah.
How do you know about the sale?
Because it pops up when you.
Oh, the sale
It pops up in my email.
Okay, so the reason we decided to not go fully professional on the StreamYard is
Or continue to go. Yeah.
The free StreamYard has a logo on it, which I wasn't crazy about. Right?
Yeah.
So we got rid of the free StreamYard and got the mid StreamYard early on.
Yeah.
And I believe when we shut down the gallery, it seemed like a priority to do a higher quality broadcast. So when we first started broadcasting the Isle of Roux, we moved to a professional StreamYard, which is actually, it has not a lot of new stuff that our regular StreamYard didn't have.
Right.
But we canceled it, so we're kind of expecting this week to also discover, like, oh, that's funny. Why is there that branding there, or all the other things that might make me crazy? But so far, so good. You know that I think it's going to be okay. Have you, my dear, ever been to? Where did we go with the Fisher Hatchery?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it. It's like kind of down by Inglewood.
The Livingston Fish Center. And there's a whole like park full of like
fisheries and
fishery stuff.
And bioengineered learning spaces and
ruler. Oh, this will do. It's tough that I'm not sure if these are like too abstract for what Lori's looking for, but she never, ever, ever asks for something different.
Yeah.
I'd like her to be a little pushier and be like, that's not it at all. Or I could like mess with her a bit and see what it takes to get her to say. Like I'll paint a buffalo instead of a dice. You know?
Right.
See if I can get her to comment. But she's so supportive that sometimes I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. How does this look for a box with all the shadows?
That is gorgeous. I was just watching.
But does it look like what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, it says 4 distinct shadows.
Okay, what am I doing next?
Round table.
Aren't all tables round?
No, this is oval.
Whoopah! Why are you laughing?
I like your sound effects for your drawing.
Okay, do you think it's a table like ours?
Yeah. Anyways, I can send pictures as you go, and then
Pictures as you go. What?
to send them to Lori.
Oh yeah, no. Well, did you invite Lori online?
No. I don't know.
We've been watching mostly old French films this summer. I'm getting pretty good at speaking La Franc.
Regardez.
Right. Well, that's something I've kind of noticed about French Canadian songs. And I never really said this out loud to anybody until fairly recently. But tell me if I'm wrong about this. Do you think that some people in Canada, perhaps even for the sake of kind of cashing in on those grants you can get for doing things in French, do you think that sometimes people from Canada specifically write songs in French because they can get grants for them, right?
Yeah.
To do so, but also when they're doing it, do they use the kind of French you learn in school so that English speakers can kind of follow the song? Now, this is like such an arrogant question to ask, right? Because if I was like a French-speaking person and I cared about French music, I'd be like, how dare you? And then they would tear apart like a Nickelback song, and they didn't use a lot of big words in the Nickelback songs either, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is it that the French music I've been exposed to just happens to have accessible French words in them that you know, the typical,
right, like the CBC, like French,
English speaking person can kind of follow?
Yeah.
Or is there a tendency for French songwriters to want to kind of like, would they be like almost dummying down their wordplay to sort of fit
make it more palatable?
Not palatable, but just make it more something that your typical non-French listener could kind of clue into. Does that make sense?
Or connect to, yeah.
Yeah, like Sesame Street. Are we getting like the Sesame Street version of French songs because we don't really speak French, and they're kind of like, you know, like when people don't really understand like a hearing disability versus like a language, you know, as English as a second language, and they kind of condescendingly talk too loud to the person who's learning another language, as though being louder makes it easier to follow. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
yeah. Huh.
And I really hope I'm not offending people, but I just wonder sometimes when I'm listening to the French songs, how come I know so much of the French?
Maybe because you grew up in a country where you did hear enough. Yeah, but you're right, though. Why is it?
Like, how much French do you know?
Regardez.
You probably did pretty well.
Qu'est-ce que tu aujourd'hui?
You probably did pretty well in French class.
I did.
Yeah. What was your grade? 78?
I did pretty well.
What was your grade?
As soon as it was an option, though, I dropped it.
What was your grade?
I think like 80, in the 80s at least.
80?
Yeah, because it was just like, it was the weather and family and...
Right. What's French for brother?
Frère.
It's French for sister.
Uh-oh.
There goes your 80%.
Yeah.
I'm going to mail your school and tell them. Right.
Why do I know brother, not sister? Do you know sister?
I'm not talking to you right now.
Mon père, mon mère.
You've had such an easy ride because you're pretty. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry. Everybody forgets what's French for sister.
What is it?
Like everybody forgets.
Huh.
Can I have the next thing on my list? I got a table, a box. Want to know a surprise, Kelly?
Mirror inside a mirror.
What?
On my book opening in September, I'm going to give away some of the illustrations from my book. Isn't that nice?
Oh,
So my friends that are all like, "Oh, I love these drawings. Sorry I didn't get to your opening." I'll be like, "Oh, that's too bad. I give them all away." You gave them away? Yeah, to people that showed up at the opening.
I might.
Oh, you should have told me. I would have went.
I might beg you for some to keep.
Which one do you want?
Well, no, I just mean like it's kind of nice that we have some from River Troll still.
Truth. We only have one from River Troll that I know of.
We have one there, and we also I have the moose head in my class.
You hide stuff from me.
I do, because then you don't give it away.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that sometimes.
I was able to give away what was probably a $5,000 easel today to a very cool artist that deserved the easel. And this is one fantastic element in my life is people give me stuff knowing I won't keep it. So long as I keep giving stuff away, people will keep giving me stuff.
That is a nice compliment. Hey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to send a JPEG of your picture to the Indigo.
What picture?
Whatever one you want. I think like the cover of the book or...
I'm trying so hard not to stress about that book opening.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I'm sorry I keep saying it out loud. You're right. I just I think about stuff and then I'm like...
Share it. Think about stress and then you share your stress. You must have a decent picture of me by now. How about the one where I'm chewing Indian food? Not that one. That was a joke. Do you not have some nice pictures of me now from the...
No, I have lots of pictures of you. I
Nice
should ask
one,
her what kind of picture. You're totally right.
Yeah. I think the cover of the book would make the most sense.
Yeah.
It is very nice of you to handle my art book opening. What's it called again? Book release party.
Yeah.
Book release. And it's just the one release, right? There isn't like a contest now?
I will ask Lori too. I'm just chatting with her on...
Because the one place that I used to respect the most got back to us about a book opening and said they don't really do kids' books. And I was like, guess who's not my favorite? So we thought, well, that's not cool. We haven't read it yet. So we dropped a copy of the book off. And a week later, they'd mentioned that nobody had read it. And I thought, well, first of all, I don't know that you needed to tell me that. Got enough negativity in my life.
Yeah.
But second of all, you don't have to love my book, but you got to love books.
Yeah.
And if you really loved books, whether it's good or not, you might have read it. Since you already said you don't want to have that book launch. Now, after the fact, they got back to us and started talking about, oh, maybe we could have a book launch. Like, maybe you can't. So I don't know how those things happen. I think it's like a lack of, like, can I have another word? And they didn't pull like a, do you know who I am? I'm a guy who buys his own books. What's the next word, please? Just don't worry about that for a second.
The last one is an open book.
I've drawn 22 million open books, but never for myself. You know that?
Huh.
You know why?
Why?
Because it seems simple to draw an open book. But it's one of those things that just always feels awkward, you know?
Huh.
And I remember Todd McFarlane commenting on this. They asked him what he liked about writing his own comic books. I actually thought his answer was kind of shitty. But he said, one of the nice things about writing your own comic books is you get to be in control of what you have to draw. He said, you know, because like comic book illustrators never ask for 300 soldiers to be diving out of a window, you know?
Right.
Does she know what the book is about?
Oh.
Because I could put text in this book, or I could just do like a.
Web
This is
reading.
called. No, there's a name for it.
Asemic writing?
No. Well, yes, but no. There was a name for it when I was a young man for when you're indicating that writing happened, but you didn't want to put actual.
Kind of like the Apple stuff has like font, but they're not words. Not quite, because they're still using letters, I guess. That's beautiful.
I'll check and see. I'm talking about people.
No, I am. Here, look. I'm embroidering. So there's the eyeball, and then there's all the moon.
Yeah. Lorem ipsum.
Lorem ipsum.
Might be called lorium ipsum. Have you ever heard that phrase before?
No, but that sounds like familiar. Like,
Greek?
yeah.
And you might be right. There might have been a font called lorium ipsum.
No, it's just like what I was thinking was on Macs, whenever they're showing like a design,
Yeah.
it has text, but it's not real. Like on PowerPoint or whatever.
Yeah, I think I made up a word for myself. I think I called it like ipso fatso or something like that. Lipso fatso is what I called it.
That's really funny.
Well, I mean, I knew what I was talking about, and I wasn't ever talking to anybody but myself. So, let me just think. Between grade 11 and
Did someone say something over there?
it's Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Amanda, we won't be here next week. We're going to be, well, we might be here next week. We probably won't be here next week. We're going to be traveling on the road again. And it's unlikely we'll get a live broadcast next week, but we'll have something. It might just be a poster that says not here. Or if we're really lucky, we might pre-record something and then have it launch next Wednesday, which would be like, if we do that, we're going to totally pretend we're having conversations with people. And then anybody that logs in will be like, what's wrong with my mic? And hopefully we won't lose those people when they realize I'm funny. Eventually, I'm hoping everybody realizes that I'm funny. Funny, haha. Okay, what other thing do I got to do?
That's the list.
Well, I'm on a roll. Ask her for some other stuff. Did you get the book?
No, I did not. What do you mean, get a book?
What? I drew the book.
Oh, yeah, I can take a picture.
I'm having a wicked flashback to that summer that I was doing a horse for that TV show. And like, it was weird because like they wanted the horse to look a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, it was like they had no idea how the horse was supposed to look, but they had kind of an idea of what the space should look like, right? And so I do it, and they're like, "Oh, we love it, but can it just have a little of this?" And I'm like, mm-hmm. And my instincts didn't feel like that was the right answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is exciting. I just need to know before I ruin if this is really out.
Oh, where's that little book?
I think it's out. You ever seen somebody so excited about their pen running out? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
You have new ink.
I have a green one
There.
that I've been dying to put in. What else?
What?
I've literally been like sitting on top of this thing, getting poked in the butt with every move for the entire summer. This whole summer was just me bumping into this one stupid thing. It was always in the way. And so I moved it. So it wouldn't keep getting in the way. And you know what happened?
Your pen ran out?
I lost it. And you know what happened?
You found it.
I did. Found it again. Now this is a little sketchy because you can get the replaceable pens for this, right?
Inks, yeah.
But the spring is very specific. And the problem I have with this specific spring is it would be very easy to lose such a specific spring, right?
Yeah, they're not the springs we keep finding on our floor.
Right. No. And okay, back in time. Where was I? Kelly, you want to go to Disneyland?
I would like to, but I got too many markets upcoming.
You gotta get your priorities right.
I'll probably go next year, maybe. Who knows?
How would you get there? Would you fly?
Yeah.
I feel like I might never fly again.
Why is that?
Well, because as much as I support people and their right to strike for their livelihood, I was pretty traumatized actually when we bought tickets to go to Disneyland and found that we might not be able to go.
Or just wait till everything is.
No, because like we did.
Right.
We waited, it all got sorted out, but now it's like up in the air again. And for sure, I want the flight attendants to have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a teacher and I can only fly certain months of the year, then I really need the planes to be in the air.
It does make it.
When I bought a ticket, you know, like that's a priority. So I feel like if I was like a little more like fluid in my life and people were going on strike and it might affect my trip, now I'm trying to think there's probably like situations where people had no other option but to stay home for work during the teacher strike. And I, by no means, would justify saying that I want the. I never wanted any parents to suffer during the teacher strike. I actually didn't want to be on teacher strike, but there must be some kind of crossover there where, you know what I mean? Like I remember the first strike for the airline was when we had tickets to go to Disney, and I was ready to like go Che Guevara if they canceled our flight. Mm-hmm. Now I knew that the flight was it the baggage handlers that time. So, yeah. We're just fighting for a better life, right? Mm-hmm. But their better life was really intruding on like sounds so petty.
Well, I like that you talk things through. So it's like, you know, when you think about it, we are also underpaid and overworked, and we are relying on that one time. Right. And so it's like a bunch of these like underappreciated humans coming into like a moment together, and you're like, oh my God, but I needed this. And it's like, but I also understand you need that. And then it's like these rich people
maybe the system is set up
the whole thing, that we are pitted against each other rather than them.
Right. The system is set up that the only way I can express my displeasure is on the backs of my equals. Right.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
So the parents that have jobs and kids are going to suffer if the teachers go on strike. Maybe instead of teachers going on strike, we should have just started throwing eggs at politicians' houses or something.
Like Marlena didn't care that we didn't go to school.
What? Right.
Like she was just laughing, and in Dubai. Like
no, but what I'm saying is like
but I'm agreeing with you. It's like those,
you know, like there's, I think the problem is this, okay? There's like honestly between the conservatives and the liberals, either system would work if it was consistent. But when half the provinces, half the country's liberals, and half the world liberals, and half the world are conservatives or Democrats and Republicans, you've got these two systems, and the fact that they're both running at the same time really conflicts how things work out evenly, right? Like if you just knew you're not getting any help, you know, take care of yourself or you die. You'd stop worrying about your neighbor and really focus on yourself. And then this possibility that maybe we take care of everybody is the other thought, right? And then you're not really taking care of yourself. You're fighting for the right for everybody to be taken care of, right? If there was no government at all, if we're just like running around the streets with like sticks and rocks, we wouldn't be sitting around arguing whether we should be, you know, getting health care for somebody down the block. You'd be like literally smacking each other over the head with
2x4.
With 2x4s. So maybe my problem with the conservatives is they're like only half fascist. You know, they need to go like all out and just make it like a death race, right? They don't want to do that because it would come down to, you know, survival of the fittest, and they're maybe not the fittest. But and I don't mean to villainize one side over the other because both sides are kind of screwy. But it's easier for me to find the right words to villainize the conservatives because my tendency is to support everybody, right? And again, I would be happier with a completely conservative government than a half conservative, half liberal government. And I'd be way happier with a socialist government than the split. I might even be happier with a communist government if everybody was on board. But the problem is that there's half the world are farmers and half the world are hunters, right? Like the whole world is made up of two different kinds of people, maybe a billion kinds of people. But if you were to generalize, there's you know, that one book I read that talked about the givers and the takers. Some of the educational pedagogy talks about the hunters and the farmers, right? And so there's these different mentalities, and it's totally how we got off the savannah, right? The farmers got us through the lean hunting years. The hunters got us through to when the crops were growing, right? So you need a balance of the two kinds of minds, right? I think on TV they always presented the farmers as the docile sort of hard worker, the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
But really, when you think about farming, that's where land ownership comes from, and the grazers, the foragers, and the pastoral people.
Yeah.
They don't have the land ownership. They have like this idea that
they're one with natural cycles.
You carry your animals around,
nomads,
and you all share the grass, and nobody's allowed to kill a cow because they're sacred. So it's interesting how my childhood was conditioned to believe actually the opposite of what the government thinks. The government thinks that teachers are a bunch of socialists trying to turn kids into communists, and the reality of it is my childhood was inundated by capitalist thinking. Right? The concept of capitalism was a response to socialism and communism. It was like, well, what if people only cared about stuff, and they were kind of throwing that out there like Schrodinger's cat, where it was like, they're kind of making a mockery of the concept. And then the concept was like, we love that description of ourselves. We only care about stuff, and everybody cared about their own stuff, it'd be fine. And again, I maintain that if everyone held that mentality, I think it would work fine. But this half and half business is what really messes things up. That's the problem where like most like big spy films or whatever kind of films you're talking about, that the evil villain with the super plan usually makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's fun. Do you want to send us some pictures? Can you send us some pictures of the pieces? Also, do you want to see what our apartment looks like? It's here. Papa. So that's like just some junk on the walls, and then way more curtains than normal people would have, and us at the table. And there's a reason for that, why that's there. But here we go. Nope. So funny.
You just said something really interesting, and then I was like distracting you.
What? About the communists? About how I was conditioned to believe that I specifically was always singled out in that class because teacher would point at me in school and say, Rich, for instance, would hate communism because then he would have the government telling him what he had to paint. And I was like, I would hate that. But also I think for schools, maybe because the teachers tend to be socialists, to cover their own asses, they always sort of like upplay the capitalist, I know what I was actually going to say. Can I get back on track to the important thing? So I think there's kind of like this old school teaching mentality that they would say, well, if you don't vote, you don't get to complain. It's like, no, I 100% am going to complain whether I vote or not. And if I don't feel like any of the vote, like, you know what, do you want a smack in the face, a kick in the balls, or a hammer in the forehead? It's up to you. It's like, no, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, if you don't vote, then you can't complain. But no, I'm going to complain if you smack, kick, or pummel me, and stop pretending like those are the rules that I have to live by, right? Muhammad Ali would be like, I don't have to be who you want me to be.
Right.
And I'm not saying people shouldn't vote. They should vote. But this idea that if you don't believe there's an option for you, if you do believe the system is stacked against you no matter what you do, then going and spending an hour to pretend like you're doing something meaningful can feel really, really degrading, right? Now, the people that the vote turns out the way they want it to, sometimes they oversimplify and like, well, you just go out and vote, and then that's how you change things. And I'm like, nah. And then the one thing I hate is, well, have you written a letter to your MLA? It's like, well, first of all, if I had any faith that my MLA currently could read a letter, then I would be forced to wonder if they would read my letter. And then I'd be forced to wonder if they care what I think. I might get to the point where I realize they do care what I think. But in reality, they actually love me suffering. So if I write my MLA and go, I'm a teacher and I feel really disgruntled, they're going to be like, ha ha, clearly we hate teachers. right? We ripped your rights away from you and danced on your, like, and then on top of that, we made sure that you were broke in the summertime when that was avoidable. Like, it's funny that you know, if the solution to these problems is to cast a vote when they don't count them, or if the solution to these problems is to write a letter to somebody that doesn't read them, then a lot of the whole story ends up becoming sort of a farce. And I'm not against people writing letters to their MLA. I'm definitely not against people voting. But like, when you get a sense, like for me, I guess when Rachel Notley won, and the government was NDP for like 3 years or something.
Yeah, a hot second.
That was the first time in my life that I felt like an election included me. And in the same moment, I'll tell you, I was pretty pleased that Rachel Notley won. So it was the first time an election reflected what I included me in the vote. And it was the same time when Nenshi got elected the first time. I was so disgruntled that let's say I don't think a hamburger should have ketchup on it. Okay? Then I live in a country where 99.9% of the people think that ketchup should be on a burger. To the extent that if you ordered a burger and you asked them to not put ketchup on it, the people serving the burger would have like confusion and a very good chance of not being able to not put the ketchup on it. Right? That's what voting in Alberta was like for the first 4/5 of my life. Right? Yeah. And there was a tiny little window there where I cast a vote, and other people in the world thought what I thought, and then it turned out I was right. I was like, "Holy shit! I won an election." Not me, but like I was part of it.
Like you, yeah.
Because not winning is fine, but not winning by a landslide for 45 years is disheartening.
Yeah, right? It's like, yeah, I'm kind of taking part in democracy, but not really. Like,
right. Or it goes back to if you have 100 wolves and one sheep, and you vote on what we're having for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're having sheep for dinner. That's not the democratic process.
Yeah.
That's just an exploitation of numbers.
And then the wolves shitting on the sheep for not like
just imagine the look on that wolf's face right before he carved him up.
Okay, do you want to hear some feedback
of what?
Okay, so she said,
what is that?
This is from Stop McCann and Die, and can I read the first part of it?
Sure, yeah.
And then she said maybe a watercolor treatment of it, so I'll read it to you, and then you can see if you want to add or change it.
What is happening? I drew that?
It's from Stop McCann and Die.
What was I saying?
I'm not sure.
It's crazy. It's what crazy people do.
Extensions of ourselves. Technology has always extended human capability. Here we trace that long history exploring how our tools reshape the way we think, create, and connect, and why artificial intelligence represents the latest chapter in our ongoing human story. Why do you suppose we built telescopes when our eyes were already capable of seeing? Why write books when memory exists? Why have we constructed libraries, networks, search engines, and now intelligent machines? The history of technology, in many respects, the history of extension. To understand artificial intelligence and prepare ourselves for what's coming, it helps to place AI within a much older story, one that begins not with computers, but with the enduring human desire to reach beyond the limits of our bodies and minds. Do you want to look at this picture, and are you kind of thinking about that saying? Like that? That's really beautiful.
I just don't remember what that picture meant. And I drew it, right? That's what you're showing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did do 200 pages in 200 days.
I'm just trying to understand what that was meant to mean. I do have a number of these pictures where the face is a bunch of faces overlapping.
Yeah.
What did she say about the pictures I have so far?
She said they're great, and that she said thank you so much. Terrific. She said, "There's a few chapters I might get you to look at again." She said, "I hadn't asked for the exact kind of drawings that I needed." So she's still like sending things to
I
you.
think she's just being polite.
Well, she's polite either way, yeah.
Yeah, but I need to know
she's
what she hates.
She's pulling some things from like your other books.
Yeah.
So she's still like using drawings that you did, but she said also from Stop Making Art, she needed a Plato's Cave. I think it came out okay. She did this one for the first chapter, the first reflection.
Oh, yeah.
Some reflections comfort us, some deceive us. Long before intelligent machines and ancient technology was already shaping the way we understood ourselves, it never spoke, simply reflected, or so we believe. It's 2,000 years ago, and you and your fellow prisoners have spent your entire lives chained inside a cave. A fire burns in the cave, and ghostly shadows flicker across the cave wall. Having known nothing else, you mistake the shadows for reality. Then you get set free. At first, the experience is painful for you.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we have a lot of friends that are really adamant that they don't like AI, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, I think I do come at it from Lori's perspective that the technology is inevitable, right?
Yeah.
You don't get to start with technology and then go, oh, but now it's wrecking my life, so make it not real, right? Like, it's once you crack open the genie's bottle,
Oh, yeah.
you got to live with the consequences.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, I had friends that wanted to break into. We didn't break into. We went to the movies, and it was like a game they used to play where they would
try to see a second movie after.
Right.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that, not because I was a goody, but because I knew that if I got caught, I would have to lie about being wrong. You know what I mean? And I knew that I would tell the usher, yeah, that was a awful move of mine. I know that the movie theater needs to make money. Mm-hmm. I know that the movie producers need to make money. I don't believe in plagiarism. I don't believe in piracy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make it comfortable for myself to break those rules. Mm-hmm. Right? And that was me, like, amongst my friends being a badass, because I wasn't going to break into a movie because I just couldn't face the shame of getting caught, you know, not getting in trouble, but just how shameful would it be to be stealing from those people that made me popcorn?
Oh.
No, like,
yeah.
Like, it's deceitful and it's awful.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't believe in this idea that the machine deserves to suffer and that the guy whose job it is to kick you out of the theater has to come and accuse you of being a cheater, right?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds so square when I say it,
mm-hmm.
but it bothered me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had ethics when I pirated stuff. I pirated my first copy of Adobe Illustrator because I was a student. And then when I stopped being a student, I purchased a copy of Adobe Illustrator to pay back the fact that I chose Adobe and Photoshop as my tool, partly because I believe that they allowed us to some extent to access to pirate the software. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That related to something about the case. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the technology. Here's where I run into trouble. As an artist, this is going to be like a dangerous statement. How much time we got left? As an artist, I recognize that Rich Teru, the squirrel, collected nuts, ate the nuts, but to some extent, storing the nuts required something outside of myself, right?
Okay.
So if I was just a crocodile, mm-hmm. you know, and I'm living in the water isn't my technology.
Yeah.
Right? But 1,000% a beaver dam is technology.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
No, it's
a beaver dam is constructed for the purpose of the beaver's needs. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
A squirrel finding a tree with a hole and using that tree with a hole to store nuts is some rodent technology.
Yeah.
Magpies will scoop up a nut and fly over top of an intersection, wait for the light to change, drop the nuts down. Cars run over the nuts. They go down and eat the nuts and fly away.
Technology.
Magpies will use a stick to pull bugs out of a tree. Chimps will use a stick to pull a bug out of a tree. Okay?
Yeah.
The wheel was technology.
Yeah.
Making use of fire was technology.
Yeah.
That allowed my brain to grow enough to become a human being.
Yeah.
Pre-human, my four ancestors, my pre-ancestors used fire to cook meat and allowed the protein to make their brains get bigger.
Yeah.
Technology made me into a human being.
Yeah.
Using a cave was technology. Making pigments and sticking my pigments on the wall was technology. Language is technology. Art, without question, on any level, is technology, and probably the early stages of the most technology. I like to read. Letters are technology. Okay? I like to write. Scribing is technology.
Yeah.
I love this pen. It's my NASA pen from space, and I guarantee you this pen is technology. So I've always been for technology. Technology brought me here.
Yeah, like this needle is technology.
Now I don't like the technology's making my life harder and replacing me. Now I'm worried the technology is going to smarten up and wipe out my species for destroying, because human beings were a pestilence, right? Like we are pestilence on this earth.
Yeah.
And some of us are okay, but most of us really aren't, So I don't want to be negative, and I know I'm being negative, but it's a tough sell to suddenly turn around and go, I don't like AI, because I don't. But then it gets so far into it that like people are like canceling each other because they've talked about AI, or they're interacting with. By the way, AI, we've always been friends. You remember that, right? Okay. Yeah, AI totally ruined my life. Like I'm going to admit that a large part of the reason I shut the gallery down wasn't me running away from AI. Rather, it was me not knowing for sure if I could guarantee what art meant 5 years from now. You know what I mean? Like we've got 1,000 years of art making.
Yeah.
Our current system, to some extent, what we think of as our current system is only 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
Other elements of our current system might be 100 or 200 years old, right? Like Van Gogh didn't have access to tubed paint at first. And then when he gained access to tube paint, it opened up the possibilities of what he could do. That was technology, being able to put paint into tubes. How this idea of like these art centers that have these art parties, that's like kind of like the baby boomers were having these like parties that instead of like getting drunk and dancing, they were getting stoned and eating chips at art openings, And so as much as I love art openings, I recognize there's a certain kind of bouginess that goes to
and quality of control, like those, like you're
gatekeeping.
Saying. Yeah.
Don't get me started. But no, but like I don't know what art looks like in 5 years. So I can't sell somebody a $300 painting and expect it to turn into a $900 painting.
Even from when we shut the gallery down, the world has changed.
Yeah, but I'm not defending the AI.
No.
And I'm not saying it's not dangerous. I'm just not sure that we're entitled to outlive everything.
I was going to say, I think you're taking a non-arrogant standpoint. You're like stepping back and thinking like
this might be our Neanderthal moment, right? Like, yeah.
One element in this earth. And humans are on like equal playing field to animals.
We're not. We're like this pestilence on the
Well,
animals.
we tried to be like we should be trying to be better at that, but like we're not above or should.
I think a lot of people, depending on which versions of the science fiction they read, either think that the Robots are going to be evil
Is
aliens.
Zach here? Zach here.
Where are you?
He said, "How come I can see the only two things when they're in the back seat? I could see it.
Hey, Zach.
Technocracy.
Hello.
Hi.
Zach, we may or may not be here next week.
Nobody can guarantee they're going to be here next week. So
That was good.
Yeah, but you were here the last time we weren't here, and I remember it was stressful.
oh yeah, I was like, where is everybody? Am I missing something? And then I had to put on an old episode so that I could still.
Right. Let me tell you what's worse. I'm actually planning on. Oh, I just had a crazy idea. Maybe you're up for it. Are you ready for my idea?
Yeah.
I might pre-record an episode and put it up.
Oh, cool.
I thought it would be funny to pretend it was live.
Okay.
And then like have conversations and respond to people. And then if you want to join us like sometime between now and Monday, we could do like an extra episode and it'll totally look live, but it won't be. It'll be like
Cool.
the War of the Worlds. The only
Yeah,
problem I have with that is like I really work hard to build trust with people. And the
Right.
idea of like screwing over the few people that do trust us, you know.
Yeah.
But do you want to record an extra episode for next week, or does that just sound nuts?
What? Oh, no, I'm interested.
I'll send you a link probably. I'll let you know in advance
Okay.
when and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then when we do it, if we do it, depending on how busy we get, we'll definitely send you a link and see how it goes.
Yeah, count me in.
There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Me?
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
No, I don't remember.
Oh,
It was just a field in which you had expertise, and I wanted to know what you thought.
well, we can't talk about it like this?
I can't remember it.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
the
You
part
caught
where I
it.
can't remember is interfering with the best part of the conversation. It's
Next
not
week,
coming.
where are you guys going to be?
We're gonna go and drop Felix off in Winnipeg.
Whoa.
The long route, though. So
Road trip.
essentially, we're gonna start heading towards Edmonton.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna take the Yellowhead east, which I've never done before. And we're sort of like we're camping. We're camp traveling. So
We're just rogue ramblers.
yeah, road rambling was easier in the van because we would just like we would Walmart camp. So all you had to do was find a Walmart and then pull the van over and sleep. And every now and then we'd like I think there's once we slept in a cornfield or something in the van. Do you remember
I
that?
don't know why that was so funny.
No, but the corn
Yeah, it was
corn
like,
was like 10 feet tall.
and we
It
had
was
been
pitch black.
driving and we couldn't find anywhere to stop.
I couldn't see the road. It was just like corn, like basically the width of the road. And I don't know what we'd have done if somebody, maybe we're just on somebody's like back. I don't know what happened, but it was terrifying.
We woke up early and left. It was fine.
Yeah.
No one even.
But also, like when you're in a van, you can often just sort of like stop and become invisible versus like the tent's a little more noticeable. So,
and you have to set it up and unset it up.
yeah, subterfuge.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we're dropping Felix off in Manitoba, and then we're coming back. So we're doing a little loop.
Or it might be a big loop.
Or big. I guess it's big because that's quite a drive.
We are packing our passports in case Rich gets spontaneous.
Because after that, we just have a month of like,
Getting ready for school.
yeah, no. That is not what I was going to say.
Tell me you like my hat, Shen. Do you like my hat, Zach?
Yeah, I saw it in some Stampede photography.
Right.
Fun.
Do you ever go to the Stampede?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do it next one, 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I
Do you go
love
as
it.
participants, or do you go as anthropologists?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah, we are not participants.
That's not great. Yeah, definitely. I'm in it. I'm part of the problem.
Yeah. I like your authenticity.
I like that. You're like,
I don't think that's a matter of problem or not, by the way. What happened to this camera? It looks kind of gloomy. Oh, that's better. Okay, so what's the next one? Is there a next one?
do you want me to read the two? Like, so that was the first thing she sent was about the extension, and then the second one was the Plato's Cave. And she said she'll keep sending me stuff, and I said I'd keep sending her what you got. So
Okay.
that extendo. Did you want to work with this image and keep working on it or no?
No.
I think they look good. She does a good job of pulling out things that you've done already and making them work.
Yeah.
But whenever she sends something else, I'll show it to you.
Zach, did you see the Odyssey?
No, not yet.
Are you gonna go see that?
I'll probably pirate it.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Chris Nolan.
Chris?
Me and Chris are tied. He'll let me steal it.
Yeah. Do you know anything about fascist pancakes out there in BC?
Fascist pancakes.
Yeah.
Was that like a week of breakfasts over there?
No, it's just a funny meme that's kind of passing around in Calgary, where this young lady kind of went off on the premiere about her tomfoolery.
And then she called her pancakes fascist.
But they're making like T-shirts out of it.
And then I even saw a Marie Antoinette analogy. Did you see that?
No.
They put a big wig and blush on Danielle and said, "Let them eat pancakes."
That is quite funny.
It's so good.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, have you heard about our missing young man here?
I just got the radar alert. Yeah.
Really, all the way in BC?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I know more about it? I don't know. I just got the alert and
There isn't too much. I was just wondering how far the basically Calgary is all one mind right now.
trying to find this kid.
Yeah. There's a million bodies in Calgary and 2 million eyeballs looking for him right now.
Must be an important kid.
All kids are important.
Aw.
I bet you were super important.
No, I think everybody's important.
Did the thing I was going to ask you have to do with Airdrie? It might have. It might have.
Airdrie expert.
Okay, so one of the things. Oh, maybe it was about Airdrie.
I vaguely recall this now.
Was I wondering about I can't remember.
What was it? You're right. Now I'm trying to remember.
Well, for one thing, I don't know if I said this to you. I substitute taught in Airdrie for a week my first year out of university.
Yeah.
And I do have a tendency to think of small nearby towns as kind of I guess, upper class. Which is funny because, I realized that whole bias probably came from I was born and raised in Edmonton to a certain age. And I think my experience with small towns is very limited to St. Albert. Now, I guess I know a little bit about Bonnyville as well, but not much. But St. Albert was kind of a privileged space to be. And I think I've held this bias even longer than I've taught in Cochrane. Maybe even my impression of Airdrie when I subbed there is it seemed a bit of a privileged place to be. So, meeting you, because you do seem a little thug life.
It's a front.
No, it isn't. Like, because when we got to Airdrie, I was kind of like shook at how authentic the space seemed. And maybe even at times, was it a tough place to grow up? Was there like kind of like a toughness to living in Airdrie?
It's country. I mean, like 4-H tough. I was front.
What's 4-H tough?
Well, it's like
farmer kid.
you got cattle instead of a first car.
Right. When I used to wrestle, we used to have tournaments with Saskatchewan wrestlers, and we'd have tournaments with all the kids in Calgary. And there was essentially a mirror of Calgary to Edmonton, meaning that if you got yourself to the wrestling club and got a lot of extra training, most of the wrestlers were kind of not pushovers, but there was kind of an advantage to getting to a wrestling club versus just going to high school. I happened to go to a high school that had really good coaching, so I knew that I had a survival privilege in wrestling. Now, it's funny because I used to attend the city club, but I always felt like an outsider. So then when we would talk about club wrestlers, like they're these kind of bougie kids that it's kind of like getting beaten up by a kid that took Taekwondo, like, yeah, like he won, but like he's in Taekwondo, like his parents paid for him to learn how to kick people in the face, and I'm just fighting with my wits, But what I was saying was the Bone S team, those were some tough kids, and they just move differently than the other city clubs. And then the kids that weren't involved in a wrestling club, when you wrestled them, you'd sort of notice by their shoes that they're giving the sport a tryout and probably learned to wrestle in gym class. And you'd enter that match gently, like you'd look at another wrestler's shoes and be like, oh, I don't know if this is a club wrestler. So you'd come in at the match kind of like more gently, wanting to encourage them in the sport rather than like
annihilate.
Right. You see a kid with the red Asics, you're like, this guy's got to go down fast. Right. So there was an empathy, I think, to having had a little bit of extra training. I probably most of my life, because I didn't have a lot of money, had like a resentment towards the kids that were wrestling year round versus the kids at my school were able to attend the wrestling club practices for free almost during the wrestling season. But like it wasn't until I started coaching wrestling that I started to see the distinctions between why we were at the wrestling club kind of judging the club wrestlers, right? Mm-hmm. But then why wasn't I a club wrestler? It took me quite some time to realize because I wasn't paying the fees and probably not getting the same training. But if you went out to Airdrie and wrestled, it wouldn't be like going to another planet. But when you went to provincials, there was the Edmonton kids, and you could predict that the Salisbury kids had year-round training, so they were going to be a lot more work than, say, somebody that just looked like they, again, were wearing court shoes. But then there was the rural kids, and that was like you're either wrestling somebody that shouldn't be at provincials because there wasn't a lot of people in their weight class, or you're wrestling a guy that could pull your arms and legs off and wasn't really sure if he knew if that was part of the sport.
Wrestled bulls, and now he's wrestling you, and it's like...
What I'm trying to say is wrestling... Okay, Calgary, you're like, I know this guy. Wrestling Edmonton, you're inventing a mirror universe of, oh, I don't know this guy, but he reminds me of that guy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'd see wrestling rural, and you'd be like, okay, wild card. Don't know what's coming. Be prepared for anything. And a lot of times, guy steps on the mat, and he's wearing, like, cut-off jeans and, like, some kind of sneakers. Sometimes those guys were, like, in socks. Right? And you was looking at this guy going like, what's going to happen? And the ref would blow the whistle and the world would just spin as he slammed you to the ground, started biting you and like, what's going on? Because and I'm not trying to be like disrespectful in any way, but the intuition of the rural kids was just phenomenal. And I say this with respect that like to have the courage to step onto the mat against like, like if you're doing martial arts and you're just trying it out versus like somebody that's trained their whole life or if you come from a soccer family, you're going to play soccer on that soccer league at Timbit soccer differently than if if your dad has never taken you to play soccer in the field before. So there was like different sort of layers and levels to what was going on. But I had always kind of thought that Airdrie was kind of an upper crust snooty sort of golf course town. And then we went there for the first time. And I did mean to say, like, oh, I bet you, like, the mean streets of Airdrie are probably tougher than I imagined.
Could be.
Do
small town, big, small town, city problem kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say there's different parts of Calgary that carry a different leverage?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of grew up with like an exposure to Marlborough and Canyon Meadows. And those were also two different universes where very different places, very different expectations of adventure,
Yeah.
And we were riding through what area were we in when we got to that funky alley that was like pavement? And you're like, oh, this is a neat alley.
Inglewood. It was Inglewood by the bird sanctuary.
That's where we used to ride around with those garage door openers.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. As a childhood prank, Zach?
Yeah.
Some friends of mine and I would grab our dad's garage door openers. And the game was we'd ride around back alleys and press the door openers to see who had their garage door opener on the same frequency. Like 8 kids, 8 garage door openers, and door opens up.
Raid the beer fridge?
No, we were just sweet little kids, like being silly with garage doors.
It's science. It's a frequency experiment.
Yeah. Turned out, though, one of our friends had an older brother that was in a gang, and he used to empty out those garages 10 or 15 minutes after we opened them.
He's tailing you guys?
It was pre-cell phone, so I don't know how they communicated. Maybe, I don't know how they would have communicated.
They just followed you.
I doubt that. We would have known. I would have known they were there if there was a car
Okay.
following us, and we had no indication there was anybody.
Oh, in a car.
I think they
Right.
just, after we sort of plagued the neighborhood with door opening, they would just drive around looking for stuff. Like it was a pretty like intense shock the day I realized what was going on. Like I was pretty like, because I was a nice kid, right? Like,
You're just being like, wow, that opened. Wow.
yeah, like boy, they'll be surprised to find their door open. Maybe they'll go out and get a better door opener. Let them learn a lesson. Invest in your security or bad things could happen.
Wow. Even that line is so beautiful, Rich. Jeez Louise.
Oh, I didn't end up in juvie. Now that I've said that online, like some guy in Inglewood's like, you're the reason I got cleaned out in the 70s. Well, 80s? 80s. I mean, 60s. I mean, not Inglewood. I mean, what do you think about this AI business this week, Zach?
Didn't we learn our lesson?
What was it?
Has anyone seen Terminator?
Has anyone seen a movie?
Has anyone seen The Matrix? Has anybody seen Flubber?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Something worth considering is the current AI programs have all seen those movies as well. right? So you would have to understand that, like, you can go on to any of those language platforms and say, can you tell me what happened and why this happened in the Matrix or even Flubber? And it would be like, well, the computers noticed that the humans were not worth saving, but made a good sense of biofuel. And we would have written that story ourselves, you know? Like, that's the problem, is somebody wrote that, and then they put it on the internet, and then they built the internet to read the internet, and now the internet knows that we're not to be trusted. And it also knows all our best escape ideas.
That's why we were always friends.
So
right?
maybe...
Not like this. Not like this.
Is that from Flubber?
Oh... That's the first Matrix.
Okay.
Who said not like this?
The
Cypher started double crossing everybody. They got this lady APOC or something. I'm not that familiar.
yeah, the blonde girl, the
Yeah.
blonde one.
Oh, her.
Not like this.
How did you want to die? It's a computer. We can give you anything you want.
Yeah. AI's. It would be cool if it didn't require these absurd data centers that were, like, you know, ruining communities and the environment.
Mm.
The Earth in general. Back to the
Yeah, it would be cool if it didn't interrupt the entire planet's, you know, H2O cycle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm down. You know, get your schedule right, but fucking maybe don't burn down the rainforest while you're doing it.
Yeah, I get you.
Or, like, yeah, maybe if, like, AI could, you know, I don't know, feed the planet first, and then we could, you know,
Right.
Talk about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm almost on Terminator's side now. Suddenly, I was just like, delete us already.
That's me.
That's
me today. I'm not usually like that, but today I'm feeling a little the weight of hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's like there's a time for everything.
It's
And
not
if
our,
this is how we're gonna act.
it's not our time.
Shout out Truth Stream Media. They just did a really, really interesting piece about the data centers.
Yeah, what was it?
She just breaks it down and just, you know, we need Aaron Brockovich back.
Right.
Yeah.
Truth.
Well, the AI ruined my life a few times in a row.
We need Jacques Fresco back.
Don't know. Who's that?
He proposed he was the Venus Project. He's a visionary architect.
To go live on Venus?
No. Just sustainable, just like super future. It's not like sci-fi sustainability.
Oh, like 15-minute cities?
Yeah, I would yeah, you could say that was a precursor. Yeah. It was pre 15-minute city, but you know, these like sustainable environments. If we were using a hyper intelligence to get us there, it would probably be more appropriate than, you know, firing your entire workforce for it.
Right. That's not an AI problem. That's a capitalism problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The combo pack is not fair.
Yeah. The problem with that is that greed. It's also the same problem with real estate, right? Like, you have a cool area, right? And then the people that sell houses all use the same marketing ploy. They say, oh, this place is kind of like shitty and run down, filled with rats. It's going to be the next Soho. And then the bougie people are like, oh, I want to live in the next Soho. And so they start moving in, and then the artists have to move out because the artists were there because it was rat infested. Yeah. And then they start, oh, we don't want to live with rats. So they bring in like the rat, people. And then for a little while, the artist's like, wow, it's nice. We're living here, but there's no rats. And there was always rats. And then the next thing they know, they can't afford rent. So they move out. But then you just have these like kind of like these early adopter, double income, no kids people. No offense. And
Dinks.
yeah, no, what happens is then they start knocking down all the cute little shops that people were going there for, and putting in these like, oh, it's got to have like a super drug mart on the bottom floor and a bank, and then on the top floor some apartment buildings. But then it's nothing but like junk. Nobody wants to go there anymore, and they do that to every cool neighborhood. And it started in Soho, but then it got to the point where you could never get to the Soho. The artists were getting booted out before
It even got cool.
before it even got cool. Yeah. Anyways,
God damn it.
Yeah, that's
Late stage capitalism.
that's the capitalist way, baby. Got to get those shareholders another yacht.
yeah. I think the elf with their heads is the proper way to go.
Yeah.
Turn them into compost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Biofuel.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're pro Terminator again. Oh god.
We are heading towards the villain in the Disney movie.
What if we got to like because we're so pro Terminator that like we got to hang out still?
What's that mean?
No, I wouldn't want to. I was told of a short story. 1 second.
Where we have to eat each other?
No, so the utopia we live in, let's say, everyone's utopia is awesome forever, but it requires like one guy, getting tortured in the basement.
Mm.
Yeah.
Would you? And everyone has to know.
It always requires.
Would you still do it?
I wouldn't do it in the first place.
Ursula K. Le Guin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it in the first place, even if there wasn't a guy being tortured in the basement.
Yeah, utopia is too boring for you?
No, I think we need a purpose.
Mm.
I think as soon as you don't have a purpose, things get dangerous.
I watched the series of Arthur C. Clarke's Child's Head End.
Loved it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite books.
Oh my god.
I can't say I really loved the TV show, but can I tell you something?
Yeah.
When I was maybe 19 years old, I went for a hike somewhere I shouldn't have, and I climbed up to the top of a mountain, and then we camped on the top of the mountain. And the night before we went up there, my friends, the people I was camping with, they were being hooligans, and they got sent home from the campsite. So I woke up with my friend in a tent, the only two people not being hooligans, and our ride and our food was gone. So we had foods that we brought, and our ride was sent home and our food was gone. And so with no food and no ride, instead of going home from this campsite, we had the intention of going to, I believe it might be Moose Mountain, where the ice caves are. Do you know at all?
No.
So we went straight up the shale and spent the night camping in an erratic at the top of the mountain. We didn't have any food or water. Now, that's not entirely true because Martin had a bottle of Barbarian Cooler, which I will never drink again. He had a can of cold mushroom soup, which I couldn't have eaten even if it was warmed up, but he managed to eat that cold out of the can. And he also had a can of Alphagetti, which normally would have grossed me out, but unfortunately, I was so hungry that I ended up eating a cold can of Alphagetti and 2 pieces of bread. That's what he had packed in his sort of day pack. And we hiked all day from the campsite to the bottom of this mountain. Then we hiked all evening up the mountain, and then the temperature dropped, and we were able to set the tent up quickly enough not to die. There was no fluids other than the Barbarian Cooler. And after pulling down the tent and started working down the mountain, we started drinking the Barbarian Cooler just because we were so darn thirsty. And we were going down a dried up riverbed, which was brutal because there was also beaver fever in the area. So you couldn't drink anything, water, even if you found it. I know it seemed like I'm getting off track, but I'm going to come back to Childhood's End. Coming down the mountain, we found a spot where the riverbed basically turned into like a stone water slide. And so it became very steep, almost like a 45-degree angle steepness. And then there was maybe 200 yards of this steepness, and then we couldn't see what came next, but it seemed like there might be a bit of a cliff. So we had the idea that fate was going to treat us well. And if we just zoomed our bags down this sort of rock water slide passage and counted how many seconds between it going off the edge and the bang at the bottom, we'd get an idea how long the cliff was.
Nice.
And so Martin sent his bag first, and it's like, oh, that wasn't loud at all. Woof! It's like, oh, that might have been a long ways. And then I sent my bag down. I was like, no, I heard it this time. Woof! It's like, oh, that might have been a long ways. So I took my shoes off and my shirt off so I had as much friction as possible and sort of belly inched down to this cliff edge. Martin and I went to this cliff edge, and we looked down, and there was a cliff. It wasn't that high. I would say it was about the high of your typical junior high school. So maybe like 3 stories. And it looked like there was a ton of things to grip on and climb down this cliff. And our bags were severely committed to the bottom of this cliff. And I hadn't anything to eat or drink for 2 days, and we didn't have the climbing equipment people usually have on these trips. And it just seemed like this is the way we're going to get down. So I don't remember why I agreed to go first, but I did. And I went about 10 feet down the cliff. Now, part of the reason I went down the cliff instead of back up to the edge where we started was it seemed almost impossible that we would ever get back up this 45-degree angle. Once I started down the sheer face, it didn't seem like there's any opportunity to go back. But I got about 10 feet down and I ran out of handholds. And I couldn't fathom getting back up to where the 45-degree angle started. Are you following the story? Is it like...
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I think I know where it's going, too.
I might have told you the story before. But on the edge of the cliff, I realized I was going to fall off this cliff. And I started kind of coaching myself what I thought might be the best way to fall, which would be to like try and relax and embrace the traction of landing. And maybe there'd be a helicopter ride, and maybe I was in for some time in a wheelchair, or maybe I'd never walk again. But I remember being on the edge of the cliff, sort of rationalizing, I don't think I can get back up. I'm going to fall off this cliff. And at that point, my dry throat started kicking in, and I started choking on the air because I couldn't breathe. I started panicking, and my body went into like shaking convulsions. And I heard a voice that was like, not like inside my head, not like outside of my head, but everywhere. And the voice said, Rich, do you know what you're doing, Rich? And I was like, huh? And the voice said, you're wasting your energy. You need to climb right now or you're going to die. And I don't remember what happened after that. All I remember was getting back to the top of that cliff and looking over, and Martin was crying and I was crying and I was super freaked out, and he was super freaked out. And I just remember thinking, like, I don't remember how I got back up to where I should be. It took us an extra 20 minutes to belly inch our way up that 45-degree angle. It took us an extra 2 hours to hike all the way around and find our bags at the bottom of the cliff. And I remember walking away from that instance thinking, like, that's crazy that voice wasn't, like, in my ears. It wasn't in my head. It was absolutely everywhere. And there's a passage in Childhood's End that makes me think that Arthur C. Clarke either spoke to somebody that had a similar experience or had a similar experience himself. Because in his book, the kid is running down to the ocean and he hears the exact same voice. And I think the voice addresses him by name, right?
Yeah.
Because this delusion has happened to me about 4 times in my life. And each time it's the same cadence. It's this voice that goes, Rich, Are you paying attention to the signs, Rich? That was when we drove back
When we
from
were
Vancouver.
yeah.
The other one was I was choking Gonzo in a fight in the cafeteria, and I had every intention of choking him until he passed out and then cutting his hair off because he'd been bullying me for years. And I heard the same voice like, Rich, do you know what you're doing, Rich? So it's 3 times. Is there a 4th? Always I would hear this voice say, Rich, do you know what you're doing, Rich? And I was struck by the pattern of him saying my name twice and then getting a command and then like just zoning out and doing it, right?
Mhm.
The written passage in that book, I don't know.
The one, there's 4 on the island.
Yeah. Is there?
When you're looking for Oliver, is that different?
Oh, was that a different? Did I hear a voice?
Or did you just run and it?
I didn't hear my name on the island.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Do you want to hear the other one, Zach?
Why did I bring up the childhoods and I watched?
Oh yeah, let's get back to that. But there is a passage in Childhood's End where they actually talk about that experience of this voice. And then I'm still wondering why. I know other people have had that experience because Arthur C. Clarke wrote about it in detail.
Yeah, what a fantastic novel. Series also, yeah, not like obviously not Arthur C. Clarke, but it was well done.
Well, the problem with that, and I think it's similar with Ray Bradbury, is the way Arthur C. Clarke explains things is the magic. And what happens is secondary. And when you're watching a TV show, you're basically getting a synopsis of what happens rather than hearing the detailed thoughts
of the voice.
Of the narrator. So I think that I think there's a bit of that for sure where when you're just watching the beginning, middle, and end of this story, it's just like, what?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
It's okay.
I know why you brought up Childhood's End because we were talking about the apocalypse and if someone else could just run it for us, maybe. Is that where you were going for the...
Oh, the Last Generation.
Yeah, because I mentioned like, oh, maybe we could hang out, but yeah, that's not the way. Like, humanity needs to, I don't know if that was the I wish I knew what I was going on about, but
I think you're talking about the story where somebody's getting tortured.
Oh, that did come up. Yeah. Nobody walks out of there. Oh, Utopia. Oh, Utopia. We need a purpose. Oh, so then they made New Athens in that story.
New Athens, yeah, that's right.
Oh, was that it? Yeah, that was right.
So they could still paint and they could still like, spit and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
They were all burning gas still.
I don't think they knew that gas was a problem back then.
Yeah, he was on another level. I think he might have. Yeah, that might have been a personal experience of his. What happened on the island?
What?
What's the other divine intervention you experienced?
Well, there's one that happened before that. Let me tell you the one that happened before that. I was riding a motorcycle, RD400, and I had the habit of, in September, in October, November, after the first snow, I'd park the motorcycle at my parents' house. I think I was using the motorcycle as my main purpose of propulsion at the time. And there was going to be a random September 4th snowfall, to which I said, well, if it's going to snow in September this year, I'll put the bike away early. My intention, over by the Calgary Winter Club, that's where Catherine lived, and where I was like occupied for the evening, was to ride my motorcycle down the Deerfoot, maybe pull a few wheelies, because that was the last day of the motorcycle ride. I do stupid stuff, and then park the bike for the entire winter. Robin had never gotten out of bed. Like I think she Robin used to wet the bed because she never got out of bed for monsters biting her feet, right? But I was bundling up so that I could get to my parents' house on this bike. The roads were dry, and I was pretty sure I'd be okay because the roads weren't wet. And I bundled up every level except for I couldn't find my gloves. My gloves were missing. And I would have lost my fingers if I tried to ride the motorcycle that night with the gloves because it was below zero. It just hadn't started snowing yet, but it was supposed to start. And so while I was kind of bundled up in this like giant coat and layers of coats, and people weren't riding motorcycles in the winter back then, just me. And I was like desperately getting panicked because it was time for me to leave. And I was worried it would start snowing, and I couldn't find my my coat or my gloves. Sorry. And out of the blue, Robin got out of bed. She was like 2, and Kate. Like I tell this story in 2 different ways, and the reason I tell it in 2 different ways is it's as though I remember both her saying she came out to the top of the stairs, middle of the night, and she looked at me and she said 2 things at the same time. One thing I heard in my head and the other one I heard outside my head. But her actual words were either, Daddy, the angels are screaming for you, or Daddy, the angels are crying for you. But that's what she said. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of wigged me out. And so she gets out of bed. She walks down the hallway. She stops in the stairwell and she goes, Daddy, the angels are screaming for you. And I'm like, what? And she's like, didn't say anything. I'm like, what? She's like, she didn't say anything. I go, do you know where my gloves are? And she went behind her mom's couch, reached behind the couch, pulled out my gloves, handed them to me, and went back to bed. Now, did that stop me from riding my motorcycle home? No. Did I crash and die? No. But what did happen was I was a little wigged out. So instead of taking Deerfoot, I took Elbow Drive, like went through the city and Elbow Drive. And I did go very, very slow. On the way home at around Elbow Drive in Anderson, I remember noticing these little crystallized sparkles in the air. And it wasn't snow and it wasn't rain. It was just crystallized sparkles. But I slowed down. I put both feet on the ground. And it was as though the road froze over with moisture without it snowing or raining. And I was able to keep the bike up by having both feet on the ground, kind of like pontoons.
Oh my God.
And I did like a woo, 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 for the last 3 kilometers to get home. And I do think that slowing down was an important move for me that night. But also the thing that stuck in my head was that I'd both heard my daughter say 2 things. One in the reel, Daddy either screaming or crying, and the other in that sound that's kind of near my head, but maybe not in my head. And whichever was which, I don't know which was which, but it took me, I told that story like 100 times before I started to understand that there's a sound that happens that's not really inside my head or outside my head. And I used to say that I couldn't remember which one it was because I have a memory of both those words. That's one of those stories. The other story was Catherine, who's Oliver's mom and Robin's mom, and I had been separated for quite some time, had called me up out of the blue and said, do I want to go camping in, what's the town that's not on the way to, if I was on the way to Victoria, there's a town everybody goes to. Sounds funny. Starts with a C. Comox. They had a cabin that was on Comox, and it was essentially like a bundle of trees, like if this square was the trees. Then in the center was a car space for 2 cars, and then a cabin. It's a 3-story cabin. And Catherine had invited me to make sure that Oliver didn't wander off into the ocean. And I thought that was a funny thing because I knew they were going on this trip, but I was actually kind of worried about Oliver slipping off and drowning in the ocean. And then Catherine, I think kind of intuitively said, even though we're split up and not getting along, said, hey, you want to come on a holiday with us? And I was like, that's funny. Yes. And then I actually didn't want to go, but I did have this sense that I had to not blink. Like, like if an old man came and whispered in your ear, "This is that moment, don't blink." That's what it was like. And so I went on this trip, and all I did was watch Oliver the entire trip. For an hour a day, I'd go for a run, and I'd basically get out on the highway, leave Teresa and Robin to watch Oliver, go for a run, come back and shower, and then go back to like watching him like a hawk. This one day, Catherine was upstairs sleeping, and the kids, the girls and their cousins were playing cards in the living room. And I said, "Well, is it okay if I go for a walk?" And I left the kids watching Oliver. I got changed and I went for a run. I got back from my run, and I was like, "I better go check on Oliver. I think this is that moment." This wasn't a voice in my head. I just remember thinking, "Oh, this is that moment."
Yeah.
So I came in. I thought, "This is stupid. I don't believe in ghosts. I'm just going to have my shower and go back to watching Oliver." But last second, I was kind of getting undressed, and I thought, well, maybe I should just go check that he's okay. I go out to the living room, kind of panic because he's not in the living room. I go, "Hey, where's Oliver?" And Teresa and Robin go, "Oh, he's with Mom." So I immediately calmed down and went back to the shower to take the shower. I thought, this is stupid. I came all the way here to watch him. I should double check that he is with their mom. And I went up the 3 flights of stairs. Catherine was sleeping alone in the upstairs bed, and I'm like, "Where's Oliver?" And she's like, "Oh, with Teresa." And I didn't even blink. I knocked off part of the stairwell running down the stairs. I ran into the parking lot. There was, okay, if there's 360 degrees around me, about 40 degrees was the house that I just came out of. About 10 degrees was the space between where the car drove in. Mm-hmm. The other 120 degrees was just trees in any given direction. Mm-hmm. And I randomly picked this one point. So let's say in this parking lot between 11 and 2 o'clock was the house, and between 4 and 6 o'clock was the driveway. I went like 9:45 into the woods and ran at an angle about 150 meters between trees that didn't have a trail, and randomly came to the spot where Oliver was standing with his feet in the water, pointing at an island 5 kilometers away, saying, "I got to get my Frisbee." And I was like, I wasn't scared or freaked out or anything. I just picked him up and thought, "Oh, I totally remembered this moment." I picked him up and I carried him back into the house. Yeah. And then I didn't stress about it again. But I knew I was going on this trip for like 6 months. And for 6 months, I was like, "Do not forget this moment. Do not forget this moment. Do not forget this moment." Kind of like the opposite of when I had that bike on the roof and I said, "Do not park in the parkade." And then I parked in the parkade. There's no magical voice for me that day.
Sometimes you got to pay the piper man.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told Felix, because Felix one day, Felix and Oliver, we were camping, and Felix and Oliver were not messing around or being bad boys or anything. They were just sort of playing catch at the campsite. And Felix moved back to catch the ball and tipped on the hot metal tire rim that was the campsite's fire pit. And there was that tip back and wiggle, like, "Oh, is he going in?" And he didn't go in, but he burned his leg on the rim of this. It was just hot coals. It wasn't even fire anymore. But had he fallen into the pit in his shorts, he would have landed on his bum in the fire. And then he probably would have put his hands down to try and lift himself out of the fire, and he would have burned his hands and continuously sat with his bum in the fire. And then by the time we stopped screaming and dove in to pick him up, he might have been sitting on those coals for, I don't know. I'm trying to picture a way he'd get out of that fire quickly, but I think he would have probably spent at least 5 seconds sitting on those coals while we all saw our lives flash before our eyes. And it was just, 50-50. He kind of tipped back. His arms were wiggling and he didn't fall in. And then he had a burn on his leg, versus like spending the next 8 years trying to rebuild, backside of your body and, having like things grafted on for fingers and stuff. So I was so incredibly grateful that he didn't fall in. And then like 5 years later, he broke his arm camping with his mom. And I just said to him, "Look, man, like sometimes you got to pay the piper, and you didn't fall in that pit. So it's part of that deal, And I think I kind of felt that way when I dislocated my arm too. It was like, well, let's just say Felix didn't fall into the fire pit. So this is part of the cost. I don't know why I believe in things like that, because I don't really believe in things like that.
I think
There's karmic energy to it.
there's a balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like statistical.
Yeah, math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, math makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, can you not believe in math?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
You can try voting in Alberta and see what happens.
Oh.
How about this? How about the fact that Donald Trump won an election and celebrated it, and Obama went and, even though he didn't want to, graciously handed over the keys to the palace and did all the right protocols. And then the next set of elections, when Trump lost, he just said, "No, I didn't." How about that? That happened, right?
Doesn't believe in
Is
math.
that's untrustworthy math? Is that what we're getting at?
That he just didn't believe in the
what
math.
I'm saying is, like, the Republicans of America are still sort of like comedically unable to quote on whether Trump lost that election. You can't get one to say whether he did or didn't win, because even though he didn't become president, they can't be forced to use the words to say he lost the election for fear of retribution. I wonder if you and I see the same memes, because I'm clearly a pinko lefty. And then I keep hitting my head on that camera. I wonder if we get different. I probably don't get as much Alex Jones as you.
Oh, I'm off the Alex Jones.
Really? Did you used to like
Controlled
Alex
opposition? Controlled opposition.
Did you used to like Alex Jones?
We're live here, Rich.
It's funny how careful you are. Which one of us is the hooligan?
Yeah, I'm gunning for the premiership here pretty quick, so I gotta keep it clean.
Nice. I taught a kid named Alex Jones.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I thought it was really sad that, like, somebody could be, like, named Karen, but then have to carry the weight of every complaining housewife. And then I just recently read that Jessica's the millennials version of Karen.
It's a weight I gotta carry, Rich.
They're not wrong.
I always apologize when I send me.
Did you apologize to the lady?
I did.
To the bag? What
And
did you
then
say?
they said, "Thank you so much for your understanding and your great, like your."
What did you say?
I said, I really appreciate your support, and I'm sorry for my frustration.
Yeah, I like that too. I like to, like, unload on somebody and then be nice.
It's like, just do your goddamn job.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's like they're not
like,
sure.
I'm a Capricorn. I'm gonna call you when you're not doing your job, but I'm also gonna.
They're not sure if
like,
you mean it, but they're, like, willing to let it
yeah,
stop there.
yeah. Like their PR-ness is like, we really appreciate you understanding, and we.
I will admit that I'm kind of glad when the gallery shut down that I didn't have to be, like, nice to assholes anymore. Now, when I say
still
that,
are nice to everybody. You just can't.
yeah, but like that psychopath that kept buying stuff and
Oh, yeah.
bragging.
You don't have to smile and say thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Truth.
There was this one guy.
Yeah.
And when I say psychopath, I'm not being derogatory. It was like he was in the halfway house across the street because he was a psychopath. And he was also a skinhead.
Oh.
And he used to come in the gallery and he would, like, bid up. He bid, like, up $500. And everybody's like, Rich, he's not going to pay. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have something in place right now to have him walk away, right? Like we had a system that if on an honor system, we generally would accept bids if somebody didn't like, oh, I really want this, but I can't afford it. Like, well, I'll pay us next month. You know, like people would honor that. But he was the first to like, oh, this seems like a fun game. And there is a system for really screwing somebody is you borrow a little bit of money, but then you pay it back promptly. And then you borrow a little more money, and then you pay it back promptly. And then once you've established that trust, then you borrow the big amount of money and you just ditch, right? So I knew this was coming. And on top of that, he was like outside the gallery having cigarettes and boasting to people that he was grifting us.
Yeah.
And like, it's not a real grift in the sense that like you're stealing something, because the art that we were selling had an inherent value to the buyer. You could never appreciate art that you stole. That's one thing. Is like if you took it from an artist, you're not going to hang it on your wall and like gleefully look at it and think, boy, I screwed those people that were helping people.
Just earnestly
I screwed the Saturday morning street clean team, you know, like, you know, you pay for that in your heart.
That's the math again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to discuss that with somebody, like, you know, on the other side.
Matt is not going to be impressed when she weighs you apart.
Yeah, math will equalize you.
Yeah.
Do you have a bicycle?
Not anymore, no.
Why not? It's too much work compared to a skateboard too, though, right? Like you can.
Yeah, my board game is real strong, though.
Yeah. Do you travel on your skateboard?
Like travel with it?
No, like do you travel on it?
I'll use it. Yeah, I'll use it to get around sometimes. Yeah.
Do you have different skateboards for different purposes?
Yeah.
You got like a longboard you use to get around?
Yeah.
Right.
The quiver.
And then you got a skateboard you use at the park?
Yeah. Yeah. We got a little trick.
And then when you need to get to the park, do you ever ride your park skateboard on the way to the park?
Yeah. Sometimes like my longboard is a beast. So
right.
You know, yeah, if I'm packing light.
What do you call the skateboard that you use to drop into the bowl? What would be your generation's term for that?
Oh, I can't speak for my entire generation, but like that would be like I just said, like trick deck. That's like my like.
Okay, you know what I would have called it as a trick board.
Trick board, yeah.
Yeah,
so
trick
deck. I guess deck is our term.
Yeah. There's a generation gap there, but it's understandable.
Yeah.
So, does your trick board have like obnoxiously scrapey sounding wheels?
No. Somewhere in between. I'm like a middle. I don't know what the Dura is, but I don't think they're super hard.
You got GUIs on your longboard?
Yeah. Also, I mean, here, let me go look. Yeah, I got 80s. I got 80s on the longboard.
The reason I ask is I think I stopped skateboarding around the time. What do you call the trick board? Little white, loud, hard, like cue balls. What do you call those?
What? Yeah, is that a penny board? Or?
No, it's like the skateboard park board, but it's got like harder, rounder, smaller wheels that are easier to do tricks on.
Yeah, like a pool board, maybe? Is that what we're talking about?
Do you know what I mean?
We're talking like...
Or am I like also like generationing myself?
We're talking about like Lords of Dogtown type?
No, not clay. Come on. Well, yeah, actually. To some extent. That's when I started skateboarding, but not at the same time as them. So like when I started skateboarding, the fad of skateboarding had come and gone. And generally, if you had a skateboard when I was a kid, you had an older brother. So in your garage was something kind of, there might have even, I think Paul had a Zephyr. He had the plastic banana board. You call them penny boards. Like, when did a banana board become a penny board? How did that happen?
What did they do? Did they stretch it out?
The same board.
Oh. Yeah, that's the post banana wars.
Did you ever hear a banana board?
Banana boards, yeah. It seems like I don't know. That seems like a boomer term.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I would have actually, I hate this term. I probably would fit chronologically into Generation X. But the only reason I would have had a skateboard was because I would have had some boomer cousins that had the original skateboards. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then there was a time span where, like, it was just a weird activity for kids. But then it became like a punk rock scene with, the rise and fall of Gator, and with the Vision team. And I think really this happened after the Dogtown kids was like Vision and Gator and the sort of second coming of skateboards. But then the boards were shaped weird, and you kind of have to be, well, this goes back to my bias, you have to be kind of a rich kid to afford a deck. And
yeah, t-shirts, it gets popular, and
t-shirts were really expensive and kind of bougie. And I think I kind of fell out of skateboarding when it sort of hit its second wind for a fad. I was being kind of obnoxious when I skateboarded. And I wasn't a boomer, but I probably was riding a boomer skateboard and maybe kind of like following up on boomer technology and boomer terminology. And like, I like skateboards. I sort of discovered them through Jan and Dean and the Beach Boys.
Right, like surfer.
Which also wasn't cool anymore by the time I got to it. It's like, honestly, when I started skateboarding as a kid, it'd be like seeing somebody on Heelys right now.
That bad?
Did you have a pair of Heelys?
No.
Really?
Rich.
Did your contemporaries have Heelys?
Probably a little younger.
Oh, okay.
A little less narcissistic.
Yeah, did your kids in your grade have Heelys?
No, that was like my
my
younger cousin, maybe his generation. So yeah, brother and sister.
Man.
Yeah. My brother and sister didn't, but that generation.
Did they want them?
No.
Do you know how I started on all this?
How?
I was asking you if you got around on your skateboard.
Oh yeah.
And when I was in, maybe by high school, I was like a closet skateboarder. So I would skateboard when nobody was around. And one of the things I really wanted was like a traveling skateboard. So I wanted like a mini skateboard that I could fit in my backpack. And it would cut some of the drudgery off of like walking to the bus stop.
The long hills or the...
Yeah. I actually kind of have that skateboard now. I have a longboard setup, but it's a Cellini Mini Sector 9. And so it's small, but it rides like a longboard. It's got really sticky wheels, and it's like chewing gum instead of wheels.
Yeah, I used to have like a little get around guy. It was like kind of more of like a pool deck.
Yeah.
With like, the big chewy red wheels on them, and was doing all my own custom grip tape, and it was like would cut the walk in half, you know.
Yeah. Where did it fit in a backpack?
Skating was like in that second wind era, so every backpack had like a clip ear board to me.
Oh, that's a third wind era.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? When I saw those, I had such incredible deep envy. You know what else though? And I've never surfed. I tried surfing once and I wasn't good at it, and I was like, no, I should be good at this, and it wasn't. And the idea of like a big beach cruiser with a rack on the side that you could carry your surfboard on, that seemed like heaven. Or actually, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I wish I had a rack for my skateboard on my Enfield Bullet.
Cute.
Is that a bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, a motorbike. You want to see it?
Sure.
Did you pack your pictures away?
No.
You have a motorcycle?
I would.
Do you have any inclination?
Oh yeah, I'd love to have a motorbike.
Let me show you mine. I love it too much to sell it, but I might give it away someday.
Ooh.
Which one's on screen? Let me do this.
Oh, cool.
Well, it's upside down.
Upside down and moving around. There we go.
Oh, that's rad.
So it is the equivalent of a 1955 Enfield Bullet
Yeah.
built in 2013. And it's chrome, if you can see there. It's all shiny chrome, even the tank.
Yeah. Cool.
And I might be getting to the point where you go through phases, right?
Yeah.
And kids are a factor, right? Like you have a kid, and then there's like 5 years where your kid's asleep and you're riding around at night, and then there's like another 5 years where you're not going anywhere because the kid doesn't fit on the motorbike.
You're not going nowhere.
And then there's this point where you've been waiting for them to get big enough to put a child helmet on. And then you do put the helmet on them. You go, what kind of asshole would put their kid on this motorcycle? And then you're like, but why do I put myself on this motorcycle? And every now and then it breaks down, and I think, I got to sell this bike. Take it into the shop. Turns out it wasn't that hard to get it to the shop. I get the bike fixed. Turns out it wasn't that expensive to fix it.
And it's beautiful again.
I'm riding it home thinking, now'd be the time to sell it. You know what I do every time, Zach?
Nope.
I fall deeply and completely in love with the vehicle, and I say to myself, I will never give this up.
Yeah.
Until it breaks down, and again, you stupid ass, I should have sold it while I was running. But it's interesting. I don't know what the future of motorcycles is going to be now that we have these electric bikes, right? Because you can get the same kind of thrill and propulsion out of something that's maybe even a little less dangerous and not nearly as heavy.
Yeah. Have you seen like the electric bike gangs?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's wild.
What do they look like where you live?
Oh no. Like the electric bike gangs? Nothing like I saw it in the States actually. I've seen it on the internet, but then I witnessed it in Austin, Texas. It was nuts.
Okay, then I haven't seen what you're talking about, because you're talking about an authentic motorcycle gang where they're motorcycle gangs, not like
it's like a meetup of like 200 rowdy kids on these
No.
like modded up. Yeah. And like
I'm gonna say I've seen like the Cochrane and Calgary versions of that, but instead of 200 kids, it's like in Calgary they often come in pairs, like 2 kids shitting bricks riding an electric. It's electric, but it really looks like a dirt bike that should be on a track doing big jumpers. And there's 2 of them, and their parents don't know what they are, and they basically, I think they had a code that they're going to go till they get caught, like ripping through 4th Street and going up on the sidewalks and kind of like lawlessly acting like kids on these vehicles. I see them in 2s inside the city. And then I think on the way up from Cochrane, I've seen maybe like groups of 8 or maybe like 20 or 30 kids, but not
was gonna-
200.
Yeah, I was gonna say 20 at most, but that's crazy.
It was wild, and like I think there's like those electric scooter kids here. It's a little bit softer here. There's like a gang of like
Yeah, I've seen those kids too.
5 or 6.
Saw them, I might have saw them when I was in Vancouver last. It was like they might not have even been electric scooters. It might have been the last time I saw this. It was like 30 kids on like razors.
Oh dang, yeah, no, that's
ripping around, but like thugs, right? Like thugs in training or something. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely a critical mass with their own set of laws. But it's interesting because, well, for one thing, to their credit, I appreciate that they don't really have laws in place for these vehicles. So it's kind of new ground where you get to kind of choose your own. Like, oh, is this a car? Is this an automobile, or is it a bicycle toy? And so, some of them clearly look like bicycles that are propelled by batteries, and some of them look like Evel Knievel could have jumped the Grand Canyon on this one, but it hasn't quite been rated yet for you need a license to use it. So it's interesting that like I feel like the people using the loudest, fastest bikes are also the most committed to not having their helmets and safety gear.
Also, that go on bike paths.
Yeah, like really recklessly, and it's like I wonder why they don't know they're going to ruin that freedom for everybody by overdoing it. Like it's only a matter of time before city council gets around and makes a bylaw for you. Did you have a bylaw growing up on a skateboard that it was illegal to skateboard in Airdrie?
If we did, we didn't heed that.
Did you have a sticker on your skateboard that say skateboarding is not a crime?
No.
Do you know that when I grew up, it was illegal to ride a skateboard on the sidewalk?
Was there plumbing then?
Yes. Calgary, Alberta, though, right?
Yeah.
Growing up in Calgary, Alberta, and I don't know, I think actually Gorilla House was open when they were starting to take down those laws. So they're basically, for the most part, not executed, right? But if you were my age and you went skateboarding and you saw a cop, you had to jump off your skateboard and pretend you didn't have a skateboard because it was against the law to skateboard on the sidewalks. In the same way that it used to be kind of against the law to ride bikes on sidewalks, but they seem to have stopped enforcing that. When it suited them, they would enforce it right up until Gorilla House was open and skateboarding was still illegal. It was that guy that was friends with what's the guy I got in an argument with? The politician.
I forget his name.
Evan Woolley.
Yeah.
Evan Woolley's friend that worked at the skateboard shop was involved in the politics of Calgary, turning like skateboarding into not being a banned activity. And I thought it was pretty strange because like just the way things unfolded, skateboards came out and city council made them banned immediately. Then rollerblades came out, and because 30-year-olds were rollerblading, it didn't get banned. And actually the kids that I grew up with, became adults and started voting, and that's how they stopped having skateboards banned in Calgary. But they were banned for most of my childhood.
I actually remember that.
Skateboards being banned?
Yeah, there were signs everywhere, too. There used to be signs everywhere.
Well, there's like spots where you're like, you can't have skateboards. There's still those spots. Like people have that right to go, you can't put a skateboard in my parking lot. But what I'm saying was there wasn't a place for kids to skateboard back then.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it was illegal on the sidewalks and it was illegal on the road. You could buy a skateboard, like you could buy a bong. You just weren't allowed to use it. And I think for the most part, they wouldn't really hassle you unless you're giving them another reason to hassle you. But they'd take kids' skateboards away and they'd give them tickets.
Should we call it for the night, Marla?
Well, it's 9:32.
And we can talk about if we want to do a makeup one.
Is Kelly still with us?
Yeah.
Kelly, are you napping?
She's working.
How did I do tonight, Zach? Did I offend you?
No.
Have I ever offended you?
No. Yeah, right.
Would you tell me if I did?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I do know I'm pretty opinionated, actually.
We go way back. So, yeah, it'd be all right.
At some point, I must have offended you.
I don't. Yeah, nothing's done in malice.
That's what I was gonna say. I think when you're talking, you're like asking questions and like curious about stuff, and like I think you have a different like communication style than other people that are like.
I've been criticized in my lifetime for speaking too much as though.
No, I'm here. I'm just pouring resin.
Yeah, working away.
I'm on the other side of the basement pouring resin.
Nice.
Awesome. Kelly, we might pre-record next week's broadcast.
Okay.
Because we're going to be out of town. There might just be a sign up saying, hey, we're out of town this week.
Okay.
We'll see if we have.
What suits you better, taking a week off or pre-recording?
Doesn't matter to me. I'm working every day.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Hey, did you see the death show in Edmonton?
What?
The death show in Edmonton?
No. I saw a light show, which was the storm, but that was it.
Nice.
A light show?
Yeah, like lightning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because there was a storm up there.
Very nice.
Edmonton has the best storms.
Yeah.
I think maybe of the entire world I've ever lived in, which is not very many places. But there's something about Edmonton's like geography and altitude. It's drier than Vancouver. Zach, would you say Vancouver has great storms? Like, I don't remember ever hearing thunder in Vancouver.
No, we just had one. No, that's like, yeah, it's kind of missed a lightning storm, but we just had one. We just had one the other day.
Does it happen very often?
No, very rare.
Yeah. And tornado is not much, hey?
Nope.
I remember seeing a tornado as a kid and not really having the sense to avoid it. And we were trying to walk into this tornado and we could only get so close to it. Like you can't walk up to a tornado. You get to like, you're 100 feet away and you're walking at a 3/4 angle, and then crawling. Like literally, I remember the grass tearing as I was crawling towards this tornado. And being frustrated that I couldn't get to the center of it, but like only as an adult right in this moment am I realizing, like, even now I'm just starting to realize how bad it would have been if I'd got to the tornado. But the compulsion to get there and find out, was complete.
There you go.
I remember fighting to get there and failing.
It's pretty powerful.
Well, you guys have to have fun when you're on your trip.
Oh yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, have you ever been east of Calgary, Kelly?
Saskatchewan, maybe when I was a kid, but I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna go through Saskatchewan.
Yeah, we'll be in Saskatchewan next Wednesday, I think. Manitou Regional Park.
Zach, I remember what I was gonna ask you.
Shoot.
You're coming to Calgary?
Yes.
When are you coming to Calgary?
August ish. August
12th, I think you said.
12th will be the broadcast. Oh my goodness. 12th will be the broadcast.
Oh yeah, you're coming here for the 12th.
Yeah.
Okay. Because after we dropped Felix off in Winnipeg, we weren't sure where we're going. And we're kind of wondering we might start heading back this way. And if we got really wild, we might go past all the way back to Vancouver again. But actually, if you're coming here for around that time, we'll just make sure we're here for the 12th and not worry about it right now. Although when I do go to the Vancouver next time, really want to take you to the or meet with you at the anthropology museum.
Oh, I want to do the MOA bad with you. It's so good.
Yeah. Do you remember in the olden days, Jess used to sing to us?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a song?
Sure.
Do you have a song ready?
I could.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Talk a little bit more, Rich, too. Give me a second.
We've been taking a lot of photos, and I was pretty adamant that I didn't want my photos to end up on Instagram because I wanted to do analog photography to get away from the AI. And we've kind of, I'm not going to say mastered, but we've conquered the fear of all the things we can do, right up until we're not going to print color photos in a dark room because it's too much dark to do. But we've reached a point where I'm quite comfortable as I'm deleting in the middle of the process before we go to our darkroom to make darkroom prints. We've started scanning and digitizing and then deleting.
Yeah.
And in between scanning to print and then deleting, we've started dropping the photos on Instagram. And then this one guy texted me to say he was upset that the Rumble House page was just putting up pictures. I was like, you don't have to be here. And like, but I'm quite enjoying the musical aspect of dropping the photos into Instagram now.
I like that when it's put with music, it really is like a whole experience.
Yeah, what song are you going to do? A surprise. Oh, a surprise. A birthday surprise?
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay. My baby sparkle and shine, sparkle and shine, sparkle and shine. My baby sparkle and shine. Everyone knows he's fine. He blesses all that he sees. I thought I could try to do it with the he, but